Hi everyone, Scott Hansen with you, and this is the EA Sports Weekly Recap.
Welcome to your Cleveland Browns game recap, where the Browns continue to flex their dominance in the AFC North with a gritty win over the Steelers this week. Tonight's Cleveland studio timeout is brought to you by the Game magazine. Week 16. The Cleveland Browns headline the #1 power picture, with the award race getting louder, depth chart movement, and the stories behind the score. In a defensive slugfest, the Browns held the Steelers to just 3 points, edging them out 10-3. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders managed the game efficiently, going 12 of 23 for 158 yards and a touchdown without an interception. The Browns' defense was the real star, led by JT Tuimoloau, who wreaked havoc with 3 tackles and 2 sacks, shutting down Pittsburgh's offense. On offense, the passing game found rhythm with Jay Punter Weston catching a touchdown and several key receptions from Travis Hunter and Victor Harrison. The Browns' ground game cooled off this week, with running back Mike Hawkins struggling to find space, but the defense kept the momentum firmly in Cleveland's favor. Weekly honors note: the Browns are tied into the Game of the Week spotlight.
I'm Jenny Alvarez and this is your Week 16 Browns Live MVP race. At number 5, Jay Good of the Dolphins debuts with 3,698 yards and 25 touchdowns. 4th, Giants quarterback Jackson Dart joins the party with 3,756 yards and 29 touchdowns. 3rd, another newcomer, Marquise Burley of the Falcons, boasting 3,746 yards and 32 touchdowns. 2nd, Cowboys star Caleb Downs crashes in with 3,894 yards and 35 touchdowns. And at number 1, new to the board and already on top, Browns leader Shedeur Sanders with 3,856 yards, 43 touchdowns, 1 pick, 257.1 a game. That's your MVP board. Jenny Alvarez, signing off. This wasn't some statement win for Cleveland. It was an ugly rock fight where the Browns' offense, with Mike Hawkins stuck at 32 yards and Travis Hunter held to 53, never really took control.
A win is a win in December, and when your defense led by JT Tuimoloau's 2 sacks holds the Steelers to 3 points, that's absolutely a statement.
But if Shedeur Sanders only gives you 158 yards on 12 of 23 and 1 touchdown at home, you're asking that defense to be perfect every single week.
Shedeur protected the ball, Tuimoloau wrecked drives, and in a 10-3 division grinder, that formula is exactly why the Browns walked out with the season-defining W. Coach, after Steelers 3, Browns 10, what was the biggest thing you wanted your team to own on tape?
We wanted the group to see the details. JT Tuimoloau, def, gave us a spark, but the standard is every snap.
The other side is Mike Hawkins, RB, Travis Hunter, WR. How do you keep that from becoming a weekly storyline?
We coach it straight, we fix it fast, and nobody gets to hide from the work.
No new injuries to report this week for the Browns, but there were some roster moves as defensive tackle Troy Albertson and long snapper Nico Vasquez were released. On a brighter note, center Tito Valles and linebacker JT Tuimoloau both signed extensions, securing key pieces for the future. Rookie punter Stephen Long started strong, and Matthew Turner solidified his role at defensive end. Plus, tight end Hugh McKee is back off the injury report and available moving forward. Coming up on the Rapoport Report: contract smoke, injury timelines, Lions pressure points. Keep the alerts on, because the quiet note is usually the loudest one by kickoff.
Marcus Reed here on Contract Line, Stretch Run Stakes. The pressure board starts with Maurice Ware, Ty Hamilton, and Grant Garrison. Maurice Ware owns tonight's leverage meter at 85 out of 100. Maurice Ware, with torn labrum now part of the file. What do you need to prove before the business side gets serious?
Marcus, the only useful answer is healthy tape. I have to get right, play at my level, and let the business conversation catch up.
Cleveland sits comfortably atop the AFC North with a 14-1 record, already clinching the division and holding the #1 seed in the conference. Behind them, Cincinnati trails at 10-5, while Pittsburgh and Baltimore remain out of playoff contention. The Browns are clearly the team to beat as they maintain their position as the top-ranked squad in the league. Welcome back to the Cleveland Studio Network. The Cleveland Browns are sitting pretty at the top of the AFC with a stellar 14-1 record, but the pressure is on as they fend off the Tennessee Titans, just a game behind. With the playoffs looming and home field advantage still up for grabs, every snap counts. Remember, the stakes are high. This is a team ready to make a deep run. Stay tuned as we follow their journey. JT Tuimoloau was a defensive force with 2 huge sacks that stalled Steelers' drives. Shedeur Sanders found Jay punter Weston for an impressive touchdown catch. And rookie punter Stephen Long boomed a 50-yard punt that flipped field position perfectly for Cleveland's defense. Next week, the Browns head to Detroit to face the Lions, a team ranked 5th in the power rankings with a 10-5 record. The Lions bring a dynamic offense led by quarterback Zach Howard and running back Jahmyr Gibbs, so Cleveland's top-ranked defense will be put to the test. Meanwhile, the Browns will look for a rebound from Mike Hawkins' down game and hope their defense continues its relentless pressure. This game could cement Cleveland's playoff positioning as they chase perfection in the regular season. Looking ahead, the Browns get Detroit Lions next. Detroit Lions comes in ranked 5 in the current power picture with a 1-0-5-0 record. The scouting board shows them at 5 in total offense, 7 in total defense, pass offense 6, rush offense 15, pass defense 7, rush defense 14. On the rating side they check in at 89 overall. What to watch for? Zach Howard at quarterback with 3,295 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Jahmyr Gibbs on the ground with 890 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. Josh Escobar on the perimeter with 0 catches, 1,226 yards, and 17 scores. That is the assignment heading into kickoff, and those are the names Cleveland has to answer. That's your Browns recap with playoff seeding pressure, Hawkins looking to bounce back, and a big defensive challenge awaiting in Detroit next week. Stay tuned for what promises to be a huge showdown. Keep an eye on the roster note too. Troy Albertson was released. See you next week for a season swing showdown with Browns.